Okay, so Chris, we touched on this in one of the earlier videos where we were talking about, I guess, what it is that makes you different. And as a business coach, we talk quite often in our strategy conversations around your why.
Yep.
We talk about it being linked to your purpose and your mission, and that kind of being your intrinsic motivation. You win a lot of business. You've got a really high strike rate of appraisals to listings. What is it that makes you different, and how do you communicate that to your clients?
Essentially, for me, it's the care factor. Like, it comes out naturally. Like that's me. But having grown up in the area, I'm so, I suppose, absorbed in the area, and every street. So, like, where it is, I know someone that lives in the street or nearby or grown up there, or there's always someone that I feel that personal connection with every transaction, that it's not just me selling this person's home, it's me representing, like it's my home. And when you put yourself in that position, you can't really fail. It's like when we come here on a Saturday afternoon at open homes and we bump into people in the cannery, they're like, how are your opens?
Yeah.
And you've got that sense of, you've got to be good and be authentic with those people, because the last thing out here in this space, you can't hide.
Yeah.
So I basically put myself out there, and by putting yourself out there on every occasion, people go, well, you know what, he's real.
And I don't think that can be taught. We can teach agents what to say, we can teach them what to do, but you can't teach them to care.
No.
You've either got that or you don't. And that's why I think that everything that you do is just so authentically aligned to that, because you actually give a shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. Okay. And I guess another question that I might have that is, I guess, a little bit of a segue off that is leadership.
Yep.
You've spent 15 years as a high-performing salesperson. You're now still on the tools. You've doubled your business, but you're now a leader.
Yep.
Yeah?
I'm working on that.
Well, you're going good. You're going well.
I'm working on that.
What does being a good leader mean to you?
Just, I suppose, having the trust of my team to that I've got their best interests at heart.
Yep.
And that's how I see it. Like, I do it, like, this whole thing is not just for me. It's making sure everyone comes out well out of it. It's, helping them wherever I can, whatever they need. Some people say I may do it too much, but that's just me. Like, to me, this is more than just me. It's about everyone, and making sure I help grow, develop them, and get them, I suppose, firing to a level. Like, I don't see anyone as an associate or anything. I see them all as sales agents to myself. I introduce them to my vendors as that way. There's no, I don't believe in hierarchy in that way. Like, you see my desk is pretty open. There's no box I'm hiding in. I didn't want that. Yeah. I'm very approachable. They tell me if they don't like something. I don't tell them as much if I don't like it back. I'm getting better at that as well. But it's very much, I believe, you work with one another. I put a lot of trust in them, and I think I get that back because they work within their abilities. Like, I believe in their work ethic, and leave it at that.
Yeah, and I think in high performing teams, whether it be in real estate or any other industry, it's really the aggregate sum total of the people in your business is greater than their individual components. So it's 1 + 1 = 3. Great leadership enables those people to scale and grow their efforts. And when we talk about leadership, I guess in the first instance, I think a great leader makes their people feel safe. And, before we've talked a little bit about trust. We've talked about having people's best interest at heart, maybe over on top of yours. And I think that really breeds a culture of safety. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, you got to feel, I think I've learned that, if people feel like they're, you care for them, essentially. And I've read a lot of books and I've heard a lot of things, especially in the last 12 months. It all comes back to, doesn't matter where the organisation is, if your team feels that, you genuinely care for their well-being, they will always put in that more for you.
Yeah.
And
It's the unwritten rule of reciprocity, isn't it?
it is.
You know? Okay. Culture.
Yes.
You've got a very interesting culture. You've got a younger team.
Yes.
But yet, if I comment on your office, I obviously go out and see a lot of businesses. You've got a team that are committed, they're energetic, they're fired up on a daily basis. There's plenty of teamwork.
Yep.
How have you fostered that culture, and is culture important to you?
Culture is very important. I think culture is what makes a business tick.
Yeah.
So I think the fundamentals is that everyone has a great work ethic.
Yep.
And because everyone has that great work ethic, everyone kind of helps each other out.
Yep.
And like, I'm never shy of doing anything. I'll work, and I think it comes back to a lot of people, especially in this industry, I've seen over the years where they become a principal and then they kind of think, well, I can take the foot off the gas a bit more. We've got all these people running around to do things.
Yep.
If anything, it's taken me a little while to let go of things because I'm just so conscious that I don't want to leave anyone stranded and have them drown. And,
Yeah.
you know, and I've worked out things maybe a bit longer than I should have in some instances, but it's very much, you know, if you all support one another and, you know, the environment here is quite good. Like we work hard, but we have good fun.
Yeah.
We joke about it, and you know, and that's essentially it. You know, you just find people that fit well within what you're trying to achieve, and I've been fortunate enough to have people that seem to align with my kind of thinking of what I expected from them.
And is that by design? Because, you know, when we talk about culture, culture is, I guess, somewhat, it's intangible. You can't really measure it, but,
Yep.
you know, there was a famous American business strategist that said culture beats strategy every day of the week.
Yep.
Yet when we talk about culture, culture is really just the sum total of all of the personalities and the beliefs of the people in your team. That's kind of what it is. So have the people that joined you, have they been chosen by design? So have you looked at their beliefs and their work ethic and said, do these people align with who I am as an individual and as a leader?
Yeah, I suppose when you try and look at it, like identified the skill sets
Yep.
of, I suppose Chrissy was first on board,
Yep.
so I identified her skill set as being someone that would fit well within the team.
Yeah.
And then Kelly came along,
Yep.
and she had the same kind of right fit
Yep.
and had the right attitude. And then obviously Jared is a new addition to the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's essentially, I suppose, and Anna now, who's joined as well, the fundamentals have always been, I suppose, if they've got the right work ethic,
Yeah.
everything else kind of, everyone just wants to, I've found over the years in this industry, if everyone kind of works and they seem to work together, you end up having a very harmonious office.
Yeah.
And it works well. Whereas if you have an office where people kind of don't work for one another, you end up having all these individuals essentially fighting
Yeah.
within each other for territories, business, and you know, I'm being very conscious that that's not going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I've got a clear vision of how the salespeople will grow within the teams and within their areas and all that, and I think that will just help them continue to grow and work as a team.
I think there's a lot of relevant sporting analogies there too. You know, they say a champion team will always beat a team of champions, and you know the thing that you said there was that if the team is working for one another, you know, and that comes back to that conversation around synergy, which is 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.